you have taken 1 point of damage.
At least it's not syphilis.
Will you roll for me?
What?
Let's see if you have syphilis.
Okay, fine. Beep, beep, boop.
Boop, boop, beep, beep. All right, talking about video games. We were talking about No Man's Sky and how the tutorial didn't hold Randy's hand well enough.
No.
And so he doesn't like it. And so then we were talking about scary games, and Randy downloaded Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, play that game in the dark with all the lights off and scream like a little girl, and your neighbors will be like, what's happening over there? And then that made Dalton about to say something, which I cut him off. He's like, we should probably record this. So Dalton, what were you going to say?
Yes. So it reminds me, there's this game, I can't remember the name of it, but you guys ever played those survival games where it's like 4 people running around trying to avoid one person?
Mm-hmm. Like Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, was it? It wasn't Dead by Daylight though. It was one where like when you're the monster person, you can't see. You can only see sound vibrations.
Whoa.
And so if you made like bump stuff in the game or run or whatever, it'd make the vibrations. But also if you had a microphone and you were talking, it would also pick up your vibrations. Yeah. So if you're like trying to strategize with other people, you have to be super quiet.
That's cool.
It was pretty fun, yeah.
Does it pick up your mic? Or it's just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have a mic and you start talking into it or whatever, it'll...
Was it only on Play Pass?
I think it was only on PC.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, thanks for telling me that. Thanks for telling me a game I'm not going to play.
Oh, I was just saying it's like one of those games.
I have been... fuck, I forgot what game I played, but it was like, I like the...
It's at 100%.
Let's say like survival thing where you just kind of have to go around and figure things out. Oh, well, I mean, because I was playing
like No Man's Sky?
I was playing no, not that one. That one's terrible.
It
has
good.
It has a lot of good graphics, but then what Tanya said, he's like, yeah, the game was supposed to be infinite, and then it just ended up not being infinite.
Well, when's the last time she played?
I don't know.
Because when it first came out, it was shit.
Updated, yeah.
Now there's more like side missions. There's some more shit.
But here's my thing: if you conquer a game with the premise of like, hey, I can keep going and going and going, but then you conquer it, even though a download comes out, what's going to actually bring you back to it?
But how did she conquer it though?
I don't fucking know, bro. I don't like.
I think she reached the center, and once you reach the center, it like resets the galaxy, but then it's like the same thing again.
Oh, does it?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Interesting.
So everything is like pushing to get to like the center, and the center is just like a black hole that then resets the map once you get there.
Got it.
So in theory, yes, infinite, but also yes, I guess. What'd you say?
Conquer.
Conquerable. Yeah.
Conquerable.
I would say conquistable. No, conquerable.
I'm ready for the new GTA. I'll tell you that. I think they're expanding.
How much of 5 did you play?
It's dumb. I played 5 on. It's wild how the 365 just translated over to Xbox One 5. Now it can translate over to the newest one because it's been going for so long.
Did you play first person mode?
Like first person shooter?
No, GTA, the newer versions you can.
No, I only played on 360. I stopped on 360, and actually, the worst part is I never beat the story.
Yeah,
I was right there. Like on the last portion to beat the story, and I'm like, oh man, I really don't want this story mode to end right now. And then I just never played it again. It was really pretty bad. But then I heard they added in multiplayer, all these awesome things that I just never did. But when they said they're bringing a new one, I was thinking like, all right, well, I'll give that a go. 5 years from now.
Multiplayer is still alive.
Multiplayer is huge, yeah.
But is it like a FPS? I mean, well, it's just kind of like you go around shooting people, or what is?
Well, I mean,
yeah,
it
it's
depends.
really annoying.
Huh? Say again.
It's really annoying because if you're like online trying to just do your own thing,
Do
and
the
then
things, yeah.
and then some Joe Schmo rolls up and shoots you in the face,
like
and then you
drive
gotta
by.
restart whatever you're trying to do. You're trying to outrun him while you guys are running across the street, going miles away from what you were trying to do.
That's funny. Wait, but you don't have to enter. You don't have to enter into multiplayer mode, do you?
No, but
But if
there's
you do,
things on multiplayer that you can't do on single player.
I want to bring up a discussion topic. I didn't bring up last time or the last
No Man's
podcast. No,
No Man's Sky?
the horrible buying or the horrible gun experience in the beginning.
Pew pew.
Like
GTA?
no, I mean buying a real gun.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a
Guns are bad.
terrible experience. So I initially bought a cheap gun online, and then I started reading the reviews. I'm like, oh, this gun's horrible. I'm just going to upgrade right when I get there. So I know I have to take the test and do that. But I ordered the gun online already, so I'm like, all right, I'm ahead of the curve. But then I'm like, I'll call in. So I call in, like, no, you got to come in. You got to fill out the test. And then from the day you sign the paperwork is when your 10 days start. So I was kind of getting mixed information from different sources, but hey, that's just what it is. Because I've never done this before. So I ordered the gun online. I go in. My dad's already there to meet me. I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, oh, the gun section is back there. I'm like, all right, let's go. So let's say there's only 3 people in line, but it just takes forever. So I grab my meat ticket, and I'm like, dude, Morty, stop. And I'm like, where do I go? I'm like, I just need to take the test or whatever. I don't know. But I had a gut feeling that I should go back to the front of the store and just inquire, because you can't talk to one of the other salespersons while they're helping somebody else. It's just not going to do it. So I go back to the front, and I'm like, hey, and after me waiting like 20, 25 minutes, I'm like, hey,
Wow.
yeah, can I take... I just want to take the test, so I need to be with this. Like, oh, no, here, you pay for the test up here, then you can go, and you don't even have to stand in line and take it over there. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm still waiting, to get the gun or sign the paperwork. And so I go. I'm like, I pay for the test, like $25. You get 3 tries, like a permit test. And then I go up to, which is kind of wild, if you think about it.
I might just give you the answers.
I know, for real. It's like, what are they going to give me 3 different tests? I mean, you could easily memorize. So I go back to the front. I'm like, I'm kind of waiting. And
wait. Do they tell you which ones you get wrong before you're done?
Yeah.
With the 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they go over the answers. So,
and then you retake it?
well, I didn't fail it the first time, so I passed. But it was just kind of like, that was the vibe I was getting. And the fact that I had my receipt, I'm like, lady, you can take yours. I mean, they didn't check shit. So, I mean, I feel like you can just keep reusing the same receipt to go keep taking tests for other people. But, so I go back to the front, and I'm like, I'm waiting, and then these other guys walk up to the shotguns, and they're like, oh, we just want to buy some ammo. I'm like, well, the line's over there for the ammo, because there's no meat ticket, you just stand in line. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay. So they go over there, and then one guy's walking by who just looks like a fucking, in my opinion, like a meth head, like who works there. And I'm like, hey, I just need to take the test. Oh, you need to stand in line. I'm like, okay. So obviously there's no direction right now. She's telling me one thing. You don't know shit. You obviously look like you're high as fuck right now. Like. So I'm standing there. I'm standing there for probably an hour at this point. And then this one main, not the manager, this old guy, this other guy who's obviously was running the show, other than this one. And this one other guy was just tailing along with this other guy when he could be helping somebody else too. And he's like, dude, wait, hold on. To his customers, like, what are you waiting for, dude? He's pointing at me. I'm very noticeable. I'm wearing a big bright yellow shirt. I'm I'm massive. Mm-hmm. He's like, what are you waiting for? I was like, I'm waiting to take the test. He's like, are you fucking serious? I was like, yeah. I was like, I could have just handed that to you. I'm like, well, dude, the other guy fucking told me to stand in fucking line. And by this time, the guy told to stand and get the ammo. He's already getting taken care of. 2 other guys walk up after I've already been there for an hour 15 at this point. Yeah, we want to take the test too. No waiting at all. Just go and take it with me. And I'm like, I am keeping my cool because I've never done this. And I'm I'm already in a
foreign space.
It's very foreign. And by the way, half the employees wear masks. Half the people in there aren't wearing masks. It's just a complete, utter, like, it's just a weird fucking realm to be in. Like, it's very, very odd to me. But it's just nothing but denim everywhere. And then so finally, I take the test. And then I'm like, I hand the guy, he goes over the answers. I'm like, all right, cool. So all right, we just gotta wait. And I thought he was literally bullshitting me. He's like, oh, the printers, our internet's slow. I'm like, okay, that's what I tell people. You know?
Yeah.
And then, so while I'm waiting for my paperwork to print, might I add, I still grabbed my one ticket that I grabbed, or I still have my one ticket in the beginning when I first walked in. So finally, the other two guys are like, hey, what are you waiting for? I'm like, the guy told me to wait for the paperwork, and then I'm waiting for this, and then whatever, like, does anybody know what the fuck's going on? And I'm just getting agitated at this point. I even told the guy when he handed the test, I'm like, dude, this experience is terrible. Like, I'm telling you, this experience...
Good. Yeah, you told him.
I told him that. This experience is terrible. And then, finally, it's wildly, by the time after all this bullshit, within 2 hours of me being there, my number actually finally got called, which is crazy to think about.
That's
wait,
nuts.
Wait.
Yeah.
So, did you take the test yet or no?
No, I did. So, but in this time frame, so this is where it kind of like calmed me down. No matter what, I would have been there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours minimum, just waiting to be helped. To actually get the gun. The test could have happened whenever. But to get the gun, no matter what, it's like at that right time, like I finished. And the guy told me, and I was going to upgrade my gun anyway. So I didn't accept the gun that I bought, because you don't have to. But it was just like, nobody knew what they were fucking doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, the direction is so terrible. But then, once you talked, the guy who was helping me, he was very cool, and I told him, like, bro, look, it's very intimidating coming in here. Like, I don't know anything. He looked at me, you don't never really handle gun. I'm like, no, man. Like, I've never had a need to, like, a desire. And so he was cool. And then, you know, I do whatever. I go back on Sunday. That's when I hit you up, Dalton. And then I went again. I waited like 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes to get helped. After you grab the ticket, like, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna show up at 10:30, half hour for the open. We're good. I'm gonna get there early.
Yeah.
I didn't walk out of there until 12:30 because everybody has the same idea. So all I'm saying, guys, if you go to Sportsman's Warehouse or Runner Park to go take the test and buy a gun, walk to the customer service, pay the money for the test, go right over to the gun counter. Before you go to the gun counter, grab your meat ticket if you have intentions of buying a gun. And then take the test, because regardless if you take the test or whenever you're done, you can't get help until it's your turn. So, however you guys want to do it, just take that for what it is. But it's a terrible, miserable, long process. But after you sign it, it's nothing but I just want it.
Yeah.
Like, my gun's sitting there right now, but I can't do anything. But yeah, that's what I want to tell about my terrible experience. So, and then on Sunday we went and got in and out after, so it helped. It made everything better.
Good.
What do you guys got? I just wanted to roll that off.
In-N-Out Burger.
It's so good.
I got nothing.
Nothing? Zero?
No.
Nothing?
Zero.
Do you want to talk about No Man's Sky?
I do, actually.
Let's talk about Last of Us.
I played it all day yesterday.
Yeah, but you know where you're going.
I don't, though.
That's the point, is you kind of explore.
You just hop galaxies and find things.
Oh, I didn't uninstall it yet.
Good.
It's good.
I'll go install it. I'll tell you at the beginning is confusing or not.
So
I'm curious what Bert thinks.
So I get where I can get why there's a lot of why I think people would be angry at Last of Us 2 or thought it was terrible. Like what you were saying, it's like
because they didn't use the cheat codes to make sure that the guy lives.
Yeah, Joel.
Yeah. Dude, there's
Where
cheat codes. You can do it. You can get him to live. I know.
Yeah.
Sure. Where are you at?
I'm just early in the game still, but I can kind of there's already very it's very heavy woman power. Like so I get that. It doesn't bother me.
Was that not how the first game was?
No, not at all. But it's all just it's very heavy. If
so
it's
So you know Joel dies.
Yeah, I know that.
Unless you use the cheat codes.
He hasn't died yet, but I'm getting to that point where it's leading up to where I'm pretty confident in the beginning of this, Ellie's just going to find him dead. And she's going to have to go kill the other lesbian girl to go exact revenge. That's like the premise that I'm getting so far, but I'm kind of confused is why I'm playing as this. She might not be, but I'm like, why am I playing as a bad guy right now? that's my head. That's the other chick. Yeah, like
so.
I'm still in the snow. I haven't even found Joel. Like we're still I only played for like an hour and a half yesterday.
I want to say it doesn't really give away the storyline. It gives away what you do. So, do you want me to tell you? Like I said, it doesn't. No,
I don't want you to tell me shit. I'm just talking about like why I know why some people were like could be turned off.
Right, because once Joel dies. Once Joel dies, then you play as females. Unless they're reminiscing. And then there is a couple other things. You play as Joel. Yeah, actually the cheat code, once you put it in, you play as Joel, but then you are in Red Dead Redemption world, but can jump around galaxies like No Man's Sky.
Wow. That sounds like a fun game. Why? That sounds like a whole game itself. Why would they bear that behind the cheat code? That seems ridiculous to me.
So yeah.
So you don't feel like you're connecting with this person that you're playing with, Randy?
I'm not connecting with the new. I'm not connecting with the aggressive woman right now.
It ties in.
I'm getting that. I get that it has to tie in, but I'm not connecting with that. Ellie's story, I'm like, whatever. I'm all for it. It's weird. I played the terrible Left Behind thing was just children following children, but like I get that, like so.
See, and that was a lot of gripe for people, and it was a small gripe for me. I mean, I understood why they did it. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to seen more of other things, but yeah, that was a gripe for people.
So as it stands right now, my biggest gripe in the game isn't anything that we discussed. It's actually some of the movement. Like it was, I don't know, because I smoked a little bit and I have to play this like sober, but the movement with the gun feels like a little bit different than the first one. The fighting, you have to dodge stuff now. Like you can press L1 and you can like do everything, but it was like the gun motion kind of. Yeah. That's what's fucking with my eyes. That's actually the reason why I turned it off. It wasn't like anything like, oh, the story's killing me. I'm like, oh man, like no, I'm getting a headache from playing. Like I move the gun, and so here's the pointer, or here's the sight. That's how it goes, which is fine, but I'm just not used to it yet.
Try upping the sensitivity.
Yeah, so I hope that. I might mess with the settings, but I hope that kind of like smooths out a little bit or something. Because that little delayed lag, I'm like, oh man, we're going to have to wear my glasses for this whole game. And I think I might.
Just when you turn, close your eyes real quick.
No, because then like, no. But I mean, they added some different new elements to the game, which is cool. I mean,
like guitar playing?
Actually, yeah, there is guitar playing. Like first thing in the beginning, it kind of threw me off because I'm like, wait, hold on, because I have like I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, what do I do? I'm like swiping up on the thing and then moving it. So
when the game came out or before it came out, I actually bought a Last of Us 2 controller. It's pretty cool.
What does that mean?
So it's a controller and it's Last of Us themed. And so, like, the little black box in the middle, it's got, like, the tattoo design. Or, no, it has, like, the Last of Us 2 on it. and on the sides had like the tattoo design.
I'll tell you one thing. I like the remastered graphics way better than Last of Us 2 graphics for the remaster.
But it's not all about the graphics, right?
Yeah, I know, but it was just.
You know what game has great graphics?
No Man's Sky.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it does.
you
I'm not
should
going to deny that. But
Does it make you sick when you play it though?
no, actually, it didn't.
Yeah, so it's better than Last of Us 2 then.
The graphics are, yes.
But
also, I'm playing on Xbox.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm playing on Xbox X, where it should just be immaculate. Or I'm playing on a PS4, and it's not.
So you're saying you should just buy a PC. Got it.
You know, I was
And
playing.
you can play Age of Empires with us.
You know, I was playing some
know?
Slayer last night, and they were like, PC users are cheaters. And I was like, nah, not really. But my friend did show me you could turn around extremely quick, way faster than you could on a remote. He's like, yeah, see, it's different. I'm like, yeah, I mean, but you have that option too, you know? I was like, yeah, well, there's too many buttons. I was like, oh, well, there you go. What do you want me to tell you? What were you saying, Dalton? Sorry.
I think 4 might actually be coming to Xbox. Age of Empires 4. Trying to find the article now.
For Xbox S? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like RTSs on consoles.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So, Age of Empires is a world domination game.
Yeah, so do you know StarCraft?
No.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
let
it's
me
a
ask
world
that question. You know StarCraft?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So it's just like StarCraft.
Is it kind of like Halo Wars in a sense?
It's literally the Halo Wars was made by the same people that did Age of Empires.
Okay.
It's literally the same exact thing where
Okay.
you build a base, you spam troops, you send troops to die,
Yeah.
you build more troops,
All
you
right.
build another base.
Gotcha.
It's literally the same people. And so it's all medieval themed. So you build like archers and horses and infantrymen and shit. And it's super fun.
But how do you guys do multiplayer? Or do you guys have you and
So
Dalton
we
gone
turn it
against
on
each
and we
other?
select multiplayer.
We've never gone against each other. We've normally fight bots.
Yeah,
Is
I'll
there
definitely die because
is there a sense of I don't want to go against each other because either I'm going to lose really bad or I'm going to win really hard? And
I think it's just more stressful when you're playing against a human player. Like the bots are hard, don't get me wrong. Like they like cheat. The game cheats. It just sends dudes at you like out of an incredible rate.
It's just like, okay, I'm gonna build a bunch of whatever and then attack you the whole time, and you can't progress anymore because you're just defending off them.
You just got to build walls and then keep everything inside your walls. Except if you play the Goths, which Dalton did, and he's like, "How come I can't build any walls?" I'm like, "Oh, the Goths don't have any walls." She's like, "Damn it!"
I'm just winging it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a fun game, man. It's like probably one of the best games.
Well, it's been around forever, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, like from when I was in high school.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should know the name Age of Empires.
Yeah. And maybe even someone would say StarCraft.
So, segueing to Star Wars, what's a good Star Wars game on Play Pass?
I was thinking about this. I don't know if there's anything on Play Pass. I heard that the Jedi Fallen Order might be on there, and
It's on there.
I've heard really good things. I can't play it because I don't like platformers.
Like
I
at
just don't
all.
like platformers. So for me, I played like 10 minutes of it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." Nope, and I turned it off. But if you have PlayStation, I don't think it's on Play Pass. But I'm pretty sure there's a Republic Commando remaster somewhere. And if you never played Republic Commando, it's probably one of the best Star Wars games ever made.
What about Knights of the Old Republic?
I mean, yeah, that's a given. You should be playing that.
I think there might be one on Play Pass. Maybe.
Well, I heard they're doing the remaster for PlayStation, which sucks because it's just PlayStation, and I don't have one like you guys.
I'm right. I didn't buy mine. But
You still have one.
just showed up.
You have Sony products in your house.
Yes, it is. Oh.
You literally referenced Last of Us 2 in this conversation, which
Yeah.
I'm almost positive is not an Xbox game.
And it's a Naughty Dog production.
How'd you play that game? What'd you play it on?
Yeah, I played it on this PlayStation system. That's a song, by the way. That's why I can say it.
It's the Randall converting over song.
No, I'm going backwards, but I will say this. I'm going to say one thing that I think is pretty positive about PlayStation. The download time for a fucking game doesn't take nearly as long as fucking Xbox. Like, you plug in a game, like, for my Xbox One, also I wasn't hardwired, but, like, you download a game over Wi-Fi, I'm like, yeah, let me set this up for, let's say 20 hours, and I'm just going to walk away. I think that's how long it took to download
Master Chief. Yeah. I literally plugged it in. Well, it was one of those days earlier last week, and I put it in. I turned my Xbox on. I put the disc in. I was like, start downloading, and then I like just turned off the TV, and then like went to work.
Yeah,
like did my work shift, and then like came back and was like, oh, cool. I think it's done.
Yeah, it just takes forever. Things take too long. Hey,
I played more Halo Infinite. I'll say this: if anyone listened to the last episode, once you actually get to Zeta Halo in the game, the story, and that's what Randy was saying, like just get to the Halo ring. The game completely opens up, and it's so much fun. I still am very frustrated and confused about the story.
Yes, you should.
But it's okay. It's opening up and it's fun.
I think
I tried to play a little bit of multiplayer.
I have a thing on multiplayer right now.
Yeah,
and it's not positive. So, me being bored at work, I'm like, I'm just watching YouTube. So I watched this video. Dude, all right. So Jay,
was it How to Save Joel?
Well, you know, there was a portion in there where he goes back in time, and then there's a 2001 Chevy Tahoe that you can drive and find Joel. You guys see that in the parallel clip? There's like a
the Halo trailer.
Yeah, there's a Chevy Tahoe. Like, how is there a Chevy Tahoe 500 years in the future? Like, okay,
it's a very durable car.
Very durable.
Build Ford tough.
Should be in their ads now. It stands the time.
So this was weird. Last week I was playing ranked, and it was a CTF match on a very likable level. And then this guy, I just knew immediately, like, he wasn't going for the objective portion. He was just like, I'm just gonna get kills. He goes straight for the heat wave, and it's ranked, so it's BR. Like, within, I don't know, 2 minutes, he's got like 12 kills. I'm like, huh. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. And are you using that time to grab the flag?
Yeah, I'm doing everything. I'm grabbing the flag. I'm doing my thing. I'm having like a decent game per se. And then next thing I'm like, huh, this guy's got like 25 kills, like, and 2 deaths. Like, what the fuck? Keep playing some more. I mean, obviously, I think they were just catching on to his thing. Any which way, we won the game, but he ended up 45, 12, and 7. Like, assists. And I was like, this is insane. What the fuck? Like, how, like, and he was unranked. I'm like, this is crazy. So you log out of that. I'm playing some other matches. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then I'm getting paired against. No. I got paired up with 2 guys that were in diamond rank. And I was like diamond 3. I'm like, bro, I'm like not even. I'm platinum 1, 2 right now. This is insane. How am I getting paired up with these guys? They're significantly better, and my poor performance, I feel like, is why we lost. Because like we lost. I'm like, this is fucked up. Like, what the hell? Like, I should not be, like, regardless if we won, it'd probably do even more damage. So I was like, dude, like, it makes me not want to play ranked. I'm like, I'm not gonna succeed well with these guys. Or succeed against opposing guys like the same fucking rank, like super high.
Maybe it'll just make you play better.
No, it discourages me from playing.
Yeah.
Like, it really does, because these guys, when you get that high up, everybody has a mic, and then they kind of voice their displeasure. Not like directly at you, but like, come on, team. Oh, you getting, oh. Not like just calling you out, but like, bro, I know you're calling me out. And so, like, man. So you kind of go back. And I was just like, how did that happen? And I came across a video yesterday where this guy was like, how does Halo's ranking system mean everything and mean nothing?
Huh.
So Halo has an MMR, and what does MMR mean in the multiplayer world?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Or are you telling me?
I'm asking.
What is it?
You might make rank.
Match ranking. Wait, what is it? Is it MMR?
Yeah. It's like this sub rank. It's like this sub thing, I guess, that affects your multiplayer rank. So
Matchmaking rating.
yeah, that might
Did you
be
look
it.
it up?
I think that
Yeah.
that might be it. So this guy, he was like, he was better than me, but he was like, I wanted to research this. He was like, so I found this Reddit thread. So people that play religiously, like, I play 50 matches this way, and then I play 50 matches this way. So basically, if you were playing a casual game, anything but ranked, and you do poorly, say you lose 5 or 10 matches in a row, or you just don't play that great, you translate that over to rank, you play, let's say I'm Platinum 2, and I play poorly in casual, but I go over to rank, I'm playing guys in like silver. That are like silver rank. So I should just be better, essentially. So that translate even though it's not supposed to, but it does, your casual play, if you do hella good, translates over to rank intentionally. And then so I'm good, like, because I did hella good, I did like, I got like 20 kills and like 15 deaths and like 10 assists in casual. Oh yeah, you know, you should go against some diamond guys then. That's how ranking is. It's crazy. So this one guy was like, I tanked 10 Fiesta matches in a row, which Fiesta's garbage, by the way. I hate Fiesta. It's like really the worst
I
one.
love Fiesta.
Dude, it's so frustrating.
I suck so hard on it, but
that's great for rank. Like, so he's like, I tanked 10 matches in Fiesta, like I didn't
on purpose.
And he literally shows like, then I went to go play 10 ranked matches. And I literally, he's like, I don't even know how these guys, or I'm playing against these guys. Like, it was just night and day difference. He's like, I won all my 10 ranked matches, like, with ease. And it was just like, dude, there needs to be an update fix. There needs to be an algorithm fix or something, but it just makes it, like, and I'm not going to go 10 games on purpose. Like, if I suck, I suck. But it just kind of really makes that ranked matchmaking just really not that enjoyable unless you're playing with a full squad where we can do it.
Yeah.
So after I found that out, I mean, I played last night with a guy, I think 2 guys that were drinking, one that was way more drunk than the other, and the game.
You referencing our game that we played? I get it. Jesus.
No, but we won 1 out of 4.
Damn. Yeah.
And it was just like, ooh. But I mean, we were going against guys like similar rank or less rank or whatever. But it was just like, I don't know. What's your guys' take on that? Because they said like you go play like Rainbow Six or something like that, and it specifically says your casual play does not affect your rank play, and vice versa. But they said like the same thing can happen in Call of Duty. You know, so I'm just very curious what you guys' take on what I just said is. Cause
Halo has always had a very weird ranking system. Like, even back in Halo 2, like, you'd play a bunch of games, and all of a sudden, like, you would go up 1 number, and you're like, what? And then you would lose 2 games, and you would go down, like, 2 numbers, and you're like, what the fuck?
Halo 2.
Halo's always had a weird system. Yeah. For my thought is, like, keep the casual. If the casual should be there for a reason. Like, I get conceptually it, because it's like, well, hey, if you're losing, it's like balancing it out so that you're trying to have like a better experience, I guess. But like the casual play shouldn't affect the rank play. Like, go to the rank play for a reason, and then like dick around in casual if you want to, right? Like,
yeah.
It's just
why have a ranking option?
But I don't think a lot of people are realizing that. I didn't know. I just thought like, this is unfair. Why am I going against these guys? And then I watched the video. But man, and so what I found out was a lot of people, like some pros, because you can rank into diamond. Like, you can, if you play 10 on rank match, if you do extremely well, you can rank into diamond. So I'm convinced that I was playing with a pro that just reset his thing. And like, I've never seen anybody go 45-12 or fucking rank.
Yeah,
it's just like unheard of. Like, I've never seen that. It's like one of the best match I've ever seen in my life. And And this one, it was funny too because this one guy who made the video was like, "Yeah, I reset my account and I played the 10. I played the 10 ranked matches. We won all 10, and I ranked into silver 2." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." So, and then so that's where the wrench got thrown on me. I don't really know like how. It's very rare to do that, but it's just it's very questionable. But I'm glad that they have solo duo. That's all I'll say. That
I just play single player.
yeah, I want to play. Well, I play
Co-op.
I want to play co-op. Like I.
Oh, you want to play a co-op game? Have you heard of No Man's Sky?
That's not even co-op. Like, I mean, I guess it's
Exploring the
multiplayer.
universe together, hand in hand. You know what is a co-op game?
What's that?
You know what's a really good co-op game?
Zombies.
I was gonna say Goblin Quest, but yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know
Goblin
that this
Quest.
is before we get into it, do you guys have expectations, thoughts, concerns? I know I've played one game of Goblin Quest with Dalton, so I think he kind of knows what to expect.
It was a lot of fun. It's just manic, not
It's
manic.
just ridiculous.
What am I
Yeah,
trying to
I'd
say?
say there's
It's
some bit manic to it. It's chaotic.
Am I gonna have more difficulty because I don't have a printout sheet in front of me?
If you guys would go to the chat, I sent you a Goblin Quest character thing that I was listening and doing at the same time.
Wow. I'm downloading it now. What's this
And then-
volume thing that I need to download? What's
that is my homemade porno.
Oh,
you should download
I'm
that
definitely
as well.
listening to this. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched a pornographic video
What? Me? No,
and
never.
seen someone that you knew?
No, have
No.
you?
Yes.
What?
Have you really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
was it?
But
No,
it's weird.
no,
It's
wait,
weird
never
because
mind,
it wasn't.
never mind.
It wasn't
I
somebody
have
who was performing.
questions.
It
Questions.
wasn't somebody who was performing.
Where? What do you mean it wasn't performing? They were just there.
Listen, they weren't doing any sexual acts in the video.
Oh,
Have I not told you guys this story?
No.
Well, now I have to
never.
tell
Now
the
I'm
story.
really intrigued.
All right, so I have my tattoo artist that I go to all the time. Right, he's the one guy. I joke that he is. I remain pure for him. He's the only person that has touched my skin. And I was watching. You know how you. I mean, I don't know. I don't do this. I don't, of course, ever look at anything. But I've heard that people say, you do the scroll through, right? And there was like this video. I was like, wait a second, I know that person, and I clicked on it, and it literally is a video of a woman getting tattooed on her private parts, and then later getting
Cloud.
doing the devil's tango, right? But at the same, but
that
in the
mean?
beginning, I was like, wait a second, what is this? So bizarre. I had to look at it, right? And the person who was tattooing the performer was my. Oh wow, this is hilarious, Dalton. Sorry, I just picked it up. The character sheet. Was my tattoo artist, so it was weird. It was hella weird, and it broke like the fourth wall. And I felt like I could. It was weird.
Can't go back to him anymore.
No, but I've never brought that up. I do go back to him. But I've never brought that up.
I would have totally.
When I worked at one job, I was trying to. I didn't really, when I was managing this one store, there was one like really lazy employee there. I'm like, dude, like once I'm gonna manage it, I'm firing you. Like that was that was basically it. Like, I'm gonna fire you. I don't care how, and it was a girl. I don't care how much everybody loves you or whatever, blah blah. And then and then I got transferred to Napa. And so I was working in Napa, and one of my friends came over to help out in the store, and he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "Yeah, I was out with we were all at the bars last night, so people were asking for pictures with her and this and this." I'm like, "Oh, why?" He's like, "Oh, bro, you don't know?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, dude, look." Jumps on fucking like Pornhub or like a porn star. I was like, "Bro, check it out. Look, here she is." I was like, "What?"
Whoa.
Oh, this poor girl. She's so broken and damaged now. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch. Like, it's like.
But I mean,
Yeah.
she chose to. Why would she be broken? and
Well,
damaged?
it's like these. The wild thing. I know a couple actually. It's just sad. I don't know if you want to say sad, but it's just like their life choices led them to where they are now.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know you girls got duped.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I know you girls got duped. I know you girls are emotionally damaged probably for the rest of your lives. You're broken now.
Emotional damage.
And it's just...
No reference to that.
It's just very...
Yeah, I didn't know that reference.
It's an interesting one. It's interesting.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah. And then you see them working their jobs now, or they live somewhere. They still live in the area, and like their friends all embrace them, and I'm glad they have that support and everything. But I could just tell, like, you guys are... God, this sounds really bad to say. I don't even know if I want to say it.
Don't make us edit this.
You want to be treated a certain...
Hold it in.
You want to be treated a certain way, but then also you know that your shit's out there, and majority of everybody you talk to that isn't like a new person knows. And it's like, and it's damaging for these girls to just like get a relationship. Like, it's just, how could I think past that? Like,
But wait, if they're in a porno?
Pornos.
But I mean, it's technically just a job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I was to meet Sarah and she was like, "Hey, I was in a porno previously," I mean,
Was
I
like,
wouldn't really care as long as
let's just say let's the context of the porno, depending on the type of the porno, and then how many dudes were in there.
I mean, it's tomato.
I don't think so, bro. Like, it's like I think maybe later on, like maybe that's just me, but I've had some of these girls like reach out to me and like, oh hey, like they want to like go out on a date or something. I'm like, one, you know, like, actually, it's not the fact that I don't want to go out on a date. Like, one, you're so damaged you don't even have a car. Like, you got duped so hard, like, you have like no money to show from any of it. Like, it's just, oh man, it's just like, I feel like it's taking on more baggage without that they don't even have a kid that you just want to deal with. Yeah, but one of them's like, hey, I don't have a car. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not gonna drive out there. That's crazy. Like, modern times, like, have a car. Where's your license?
So I don't know if she knows. There's this thing called Uber.
Once again, they're led to these life choices where they may not be making as much money or whatever, or they're just... But I'll tell you what, a lot of people escape and go live in rural areas so they can just start fresh, which I completely respect and all that. But it's just to look at somebody like, yeah, all right, well, okay. Like, how do we go about your day? But then to have a constant reminder, like, if you were like to go out in public, like, that was the thing that I didn't know. It probably wouldn't happen nowadays, but back then, I guess it was still semi-fresh for this girl. And she's like, yeah, every time we go out to the bars, everybody would recognize her. I'm like, oh, okay. So what do I want to date that? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
now, if we're talking like it's like my favorite porn star, you know, I'm like, yo, man, let's go. Like, yo, where's Lisa Ann? No, hey.
So, if it was
Wow,
your
all right.
favorite
That
porn
one's
star
okay.
in the
All right.
same
I
situation.
like the MILFs. I like the MILFs. Yeah, but then she's embracing it. She's not hiding from it. I guess it's a lot different. Whereas, like, I'm running from something that I don't want, or I'm ashamed for people to know.
you know what I'm ashamed of and running from?
No Man's Sky?
Oh, No Man's Sky? You know about that? You played No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the very beginning?
It's the greatest ever.
It's one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Oh,
Thank
man,
you.
I knew it. All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Now that we've got that audio clip, you guys want to do some Goblin Quest?
Oh, I'm trying to save the sheet, but yes. Go up.
Dalton, I love these. I love these characters.
Goblin Quest. Do we name them, or are you naming
Yeah,
them?
you name them. You gotta think of your first goblin's name.
Peter.
Really?
Great.
I was gonna pick Gerard.
That works too. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Open up, Jesus.
All you need is 1d6.
Dude, when I gotta do something about my audio quality. It's just really laggy.
I think that's your connection now.
Stop downloading all the Lisa Ann porn in the back.
No, it's on my cell phone.
Can the name of this podcast be Lisa Ann?
You guys watch?
Dude.
I think you should leave.
That'd be funny.
Wait, what?
Have you guys watched I Think You Should Leave?
Is it a porno?
On Netflix. It's hilarious. Like, it's a hilarious show. And there's this whole bit that this guy
I think
does.
you should leave.
He's talking about like society, and he's just like, we watch porn on our phones now. On our phones. We don't even get on the computer. It's on our phones, and it's just so funny.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So true though.
It's yeah.
Kids.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but yes.
Kids don't even know.
All right. Then
any 12-year-old that listens to this, these guys are behind the times.
Yeah, who's not behind the times? The guy who figured out how to do the code that allows Joe to live. That's just what I'm saying. You guys should name your first goblin Joel, and then not have him die, and then you're good.
Name him Ellie. Who says it's a him?
Yeah, that's actually true. This is joking aside, and I say joking aside because what I'm about to say is actually a joke. But in Goblin Quest, goblins are in this system like magical creatures, right? But the very nature of their magicalness means that like they can have their gender fluid, right? You can refer to them, and it can depend on each goblin that you go through. They could be he, it could be she, they, however you want to handle it, right? So they, as in goblins, are like, the context for this is there's a Dark Lord, right? And the Dark Lord wanted to create goblins to be like magical helpers, but when the spell that or the Dark Lord, I should say, used went wrong and created goblins. So like we're supposed to be like a workforce, but they're kind of like little I don't know how to describe it. Like, they're prone to accidents and they die very easily, as goblins are, right? So they're kind of like the bottom tier of like the Dark Lord's domain. And so you'll be playing as goblins. You'll be playing as a clutch of goblins. Think of it as like a tribe or family. And you will die. You will die. Your goblins will die. The idea is you'll create your first
Mel
one.
Gibson on We Were Soldiers. You sound like Mel Gibson on We Were Soldiers.
Yeah. You will die.
Someone will die.
And you have 5 of them. And if you run out, then that's it. You're dead. You have to complete a quest, a goblin quest, as it were. I guess the system is very simple. The system is extremely simple, almost too simple. Anything you want to do, anything, just roll a d6. And on a 1 or 2, it's a failure, which means you'll take a wound. On a 3, something bad happens. You don't really succeed at what you're trying to do, and the next person to roll gets a -1. On a 4, something good happens. So it's not necessarily a success, but it's like positive energy. Goblins feed off positive energy, so the next person that rolls gets a +1. And then at 5 or 6, you succeed. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. And then it'll make a lot more sense as we start to play, which we're about to do. And it's super ridiculous, and it's super fun. So does that at least make sense conceptually?
I'm naming my goblin Schmackulok.
Perfect. Schmackulok.
Well, can you say the old Schmackulok?
I encourage you to do voices if you want to.
Sure.
You don't have to if you don't want
I'll
to.
do
I will be. And then it's pretty much your quest is 3 different stages, right? So it'll be like, cool, this stage you have to do a bunch of different, think like an RPG, like or No Man's Sky, where you have like an objective that pops up and you just have to simply go do that objective. But there's some
So
freedom
simple,
in which
right?
you can do it. It's not holding your hand, telling you exactly where to go. Multiple parts.
You get it, Bert. You get it.
Each quest. It'll make more sense when we jump into it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay. Gentlemen, let us begin. Goblin Quest!
Find whole new music and everything.
Yeah, we could have like fireworks go off, like.
Yeah, it's good.
Great. Okay. Alright, let me share my screen. I can share my screen, right?
2 seconds? Yes, you can.
Alright. Let me share my screen. Goblin Quest.
That's awesome.
Yeah. As we open up, as everyone knows, the land of the Dark Lord is in a constant state of war against the forces of good. Every week, the lands of the Dark Lord are emptied as soldiers go out to fight to the good and in an epic struggle to come back to gear up for the next great war that happens a week later. It's a magical land ruled by the Dark Lord, but of course there's also wizards and hobgoblins and trolls and bugbears and all sorts of creatures. But at the bottom of the Dark Lord's evil camp social totem pole is the lowly goblin. Goblins are magical creatures that only live for about a week. There are some rumors that some goblins have even lived up to 14 days. But that's just a myth, of course, because when the Great War happens every week, the first wave of attacks are all the goblins, as they're sent to soak up all of the arrow wounds. So, goblins have very short lives. The one thing that all goblins try to do in their very short lives is go on one Goblin Quest. With that, each of you are controlling a clutch of goblins. Goblins that will represent your tribe, your family, as you will go on your goblin quest. Inevitably, some of your first goblins will die. When one dies, you'll just move on to the next. Imagine that they're constantly just off-screen. They're all kind of moving together, but we focus on one who is like the primary actor, and then when he dies, the next one takes his place. With that said, both of you have your Goblin Quest sheets in front of you. Will you please explain to us what your Goblin Clutch name is? This is your tribe of goblins.
The whole tribe.
Dalton, would you go first?
Like a tribe, like what, all of them?
Yeah, like your name, the name of your goblins. So you'll have like, let's say you would. My first goblin's name is Steve. He's Steve of the what clan?
Steve of the Burtonshire.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And oops.
Burtonshire.
No. Share screen. Yes. As you see on your, you'll name the player name is you, but you have your clutch. Great, awesome. And then each of your goblins, right? You have 2 HP markers. Please mark that when you take damage, knowing that goblins can only take 2 damage. On the second damage, you will die. One important thing to remember is all goblins are magical creatures. And of course, being magical creatures, everyone knows a goblin's left ear is super lucky. So at any point in the game, you can rip off your own ear to re-roll the dice 1 time. So you can mark this on your sheet by just scratching out your ear. Is that clear?
Yes.
Great. One thing to think about, you don't have to tell me now, but one thing to think about as you said Dalton Bertshire? No.
Just
What was your
Burtonshire.
clutch's name?
Burtonshire.
Burtonshire. The Burtonshire clutch all have an ancestral heirloom. This is one magical item, and it could literally be a piece of trash that is passed down from goblin to goblin. Think about it. Think about what it is and what it means to your clutch. And if ever you want to, you can say, hey, I'm using my ancestral heirloom for an improvement on my dice roll. You would have to make the case for it. So if you have like an ancestral heirloom of a cracked fruit bowl. That is passed down from goblin to goblin. You would just need to explain why that is helping you in this instance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. If you have these ideas already, please share them. If not, feel free to think about it.
I'm gonna think about it.
Great. So we have the... Oh, I should write these down so I can stop asking you. We have the Burtonshire clutch. Dalton. Randy, do you have a name for your clutch of goblins?
Let's go with, man, it's so simple. Let's go with the Outworld.
The Outworld. The Outworld. Clutch. Perfect. Do you have your ancestral heirloom in mind, or do you need more time?
Dude, I keep thinking of Your Highness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got like the fucking Minotaur thing.
Mm-hmm. That could quite easily be it.
Fuck, dude, no, I can't do that. I need like...
Yeah, take your time.
I need a little time on that one.
Reveal it when you want to. But with that said, will both of you please introduce your first goblin of your clutch? Dalton, who is the first goblin of the Burtonshire tribe?
Peter.
Peter the Goblin. Perfect. And Randy, what is your goblin's name?
Antonio.
Antonio and Peter. Brilliant. Now, if I do this, do you see the map still?
Yes.
Great. We open up on the Dark Lord's land. The goblins are there. Everyone's kind of preparing. The Great War's probably going to happen in a couple of days. So there's an understandable excitement throughout the Dark Lord's camp as everyone is gearing for this big war that's about to happen. With that said, the goblins, who again are the lowliest of creatures in the Great Dark Lord's camp, are frantically trying to complete their last goblin quests, trying to get that in before they are sent off to war and their inevitable doom. With that said, we open up on Peter and Antonio the Goblin. As you see this commotion going in front of you, your very first decision is to figure out what goblin quest you want to go on. Gentlemen, you have a choice of 3 quests. You must pick one. The first one is an Indiana Jones-esque adventure where you must retrieve 3 ancient artifacts. The second choice is Survive Wizard School, a Harry Potter-esque adventure goblin quest. And the third one is an LOTR adventure. Place the gem in the statue. You must return the gem back to where it was made. Which of these 3 goblin quests would you like to go on?
Is it individual or combined?
They are each individual. You'll go on one of these.
I want to go on the Indiana Jones one.
I'm gonna go on the gem one.
Well, you have to pick the same one together.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
see, that's what so...
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant you could experience all of them at the same time.
I'm
No,
down for the
you
Indiana
must pick
Jones.
one, and then it'll be.
Which one do you want to do, Dom?
Indiana Jones one is cool.
All right, let's do that one.
All right. As the commotion, so it was like the opening menu where you had like 3 campaigns to choose from, and you guys clicked on like the Indiana Jones one,
okay.
and it's like, and it like goes into Peter, like the camera like rests right behind Peter and Antonio, the Goblin. You both sit there, looking down at an ancient piece of manuscript, referencing 3 great treasures that can be retrieved to the brave of heart. Your clutches have decided to join forces and go on this adventure together. 3 artifacts, 3 opportunities to form the ultimate Goblin Quest. Stage 1 is quite simple. You must go on the adventure of the Box of Bottomless Pit. If you can find the Box of Bottomless Pit, the first stage of your Goblin Quest will be complete. with that said, this quest has 3 components. 1, you must gather adventuring supplies. No goblin is ready to adventure unless you have the right supplies. 2, you must find the hidden location, the resting place of the box of bottomless pit. And 3, you must complete the ritual to open the box of bottomless pit. Are your 3 components of this stage clear? Any questions?
Supplies, location, ritual.
Yes. Excellent, Peter. You understand. With that said, now, open world. The adventure is yours. What would you like to do?
Where are we at on the map, though?
Let me show you.
Do we know what kind of supplies we have to get?
That is entirely up to you and what you decide. What adventuring supplies do you think you should get, Peter the Goblin?
Food. We definitely need food.
So, you guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
There's the goblin mud pits.
Yeah.
So this is where most of the goblins are kind of like kept and pushed to. It's really kind of gross. They live in these like sludges in the ground holes, like think like hobbit holes, but instead of like cool like bag end, it's just like trash. Like literally, just everyone makes them live in trash. So this is where you're at. However, you have the entire camp available to you, and in theory, you can also try and explore outside the realm of the Dark Lord's camp, if you dare be so bold. But you said food, Peter the Goblin? Is that what you're looking for?
We need food for the trip, because we're goblins and we're gonna be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some worms. I don't know, a dead bird or something.
Would you like to try and find some of these things?
Yeah, I want to see if I can find some worms.
Will you roll 1d6 for me? One thing I have to explain, though, is as you're trying to do this, each part of this quest requires multiple successes to complete it. It'll make more sense as you do it. For right now, just Dalton, will you roll for me?
Yes. 4.
4. Something good. You don't find any worms or dead rats or birds, but this collective energy is going through the goblins. Yes, food! We need food, yes. And you can feel that this energy is empowering the 2 clutches of the Burtonshire and the outer world. Outworld, just out. There's no
Yeah,
Outworld.
Outworld, yeah.
Got it. So, with something good, the next person that rolls will get a +1 on their dice roll.
Womp womp womp.
Who would like to go next?
We need a weapon.
Supplies. Yes. Weapons. Yes. Good, Antonio. Good. How exactly are you trying to find a weapon?
I want to rummage through the filth.
Yes. Good. Will you roll for me and roll 1d6 with a +1 to your dice roll because of Peter's excellent roll?
I got a 1.
Ooh, that 1 turns into a 2, which is still a failure. You will take 1 point of damage unless you'd like to use your lucky ear.
No. Fuck. Dude, I'm already almost dead.
Yes, you are almost dead. As you start looking through the trash, you're like, I'm gonna find a weapon. Unfortunately, your thought was indeed very good. As you're looking through the trash, rummaging through it, everyone's like, Antonio, stop! As you're just rummaging through trash, ripping apart your own hands as you find a sword. It's impaled into your arm, slicing off one of your fingers, and then as it hits the ground, it shatters. You've taken 1 point of damage.
At least it's not syphilis.
Will you roll for me?
What?
Let's see if you have syphilis.
Okay, fine. We got a 3.
All right, something bad. It's not syphilis. It's definitely not syphilis. But you definitely see some weird, gangrenous form of, something already happening. And everyone's really grossed out by it. So grossed out, the next person that rolls is going to have a -1 to their roll. So far, you have failed to find food and failed to find a weapon. So far, Peter and Antonio, you have not been leading a good goblin quest.
So as Antonio stabs his arm and says, at least it's not syphilis, I'm gonna be like, psh, I'll find the weapon, and I'm gonna try to find the weapon
For me, but
Yeah.
Good luck, Peter.
since you got a 3, it's gonna be a -1 to your roll.
I got a 1.
That would be a 0, which would be instant death. Would you like to rip off your lucky ear and re-roll again?
Nope, Peter's gonna die.
Great. Are you sure? Each goblin has a lucky ear.
No, I know.
Okay, great. Well then, yes.
Peter, where'd you go?
As Peter also looks for a weapon, he also starts to think about combining both finding a weapon and food at the same time. So he picks up all the broken shards of the sword that fell on the ground, which was kind of a weapon at one point. Maybe if you eat the broken shards, it'll make you stronger. As everyone sees as Peter is shoving broken shards of sword into his mouth. It just gets cut in his throat, and you see...
He's done this before, don't worry.
As his lifeless corpse hits the ground. Peter, you're dead. Dalton, will you please introduce your next goblin?
He's gonna wake up.
So my next goblin is named Grog.
Grog, you've seen Peter try to, and unsuccessfully, eat broken sword. What does Grog want to do?
He's just gonna chuckle and laugh. And just say, what a dummy. And
Antonio?
Bert froze.
Oh, I know. Did I freeze?
Yeah.
No, you actually, I thought you did, but you weren't.
And Antonio, you might be frozen in terror as you see Peter's dead body on the ground. What do you want to do?
I should find something to heal myself. Can I do
How
that?
exactly? How exactly are you trying to do that? Rummaging through the trash some more?
Let's go to the garbage.
All right. Will you roll for me?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
We're
Oh my
gonna
God.
Die in the garbage.
Fucking one.
We're not even
Are you
gonna
serious?
leave.
Would you like to rip off your ear?
Yeah, I'm gonna rip off my ear.
As Antonio rips off his own ear, because everyone knows goblins have their left ear is lucky, the right ear not so much. You may re-roll that dice.
I got a 4.
All right, still not a success, but now, thankfully, with a missing ear, you do indeed have something to like a need to heal yourself. Everyone starts to realize, yes, good. Yes, things are finally turning around for our goblin quest.
God.
The next person that rolls gets a +1.
It's like a bunch of idiots, like just like in a pool.
Alright, so we didn't find anything, right?
You have found nothing. You've only successfully killed yourself, Peter. Now it's Grog's turn. What would Grog like to do?
Alright. I don't want to look in the trash anymore because this is
Good.
obviously working out
Sure,
well.
Eli.
Is there anything? Can I rummage through the ground for some worms or
Like
something?
the dirt?
For some food? Yeah.
Sure. Do whatever you want, man. It's your goblin quest. Don't let me hold you back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rummage through the ground. What can happen?
Yeah. All right.
What could
Will you
go
roll for me?
wrong?
You get a +1, so it should be good.
Wait, real quick. Our family heirloom, does that have anything to do, like anything that can it do anything in the game?
Potentially. What is your family heirloom?
So I've decided my family heirloom is an old SpongeBob watch that was left behind from like a traveler. He dropped it, and it's solar powered, so it still works. And there's a button on it that does the SpongeBob laugh.
Okay. How exactly would you be using this heirloom right now to find food?
Actually, I'm not. Maybe. Well, so I want the laugh to be like terrifying to people and things.
I guess
make
we'll
sense?
see. It does make sense
would
when
like
you
to.
want. We'll see if the dice are in your favor. As of right now, it seems like Grog's just looking on the ground for food, so I guess roll for me.
Some worms or some grubs or. I got a 6. Hey, look at that.
Ooh, and a 6 with the +1 is a 7. That counts as 2 successes.
you decide, yes, food must come from the ground, right? And as you start digging, not only do you find a just entire ball of worms, like they've just merged into like a colony, like think like the hunter worms from that really shitty movie, but it's like all of them packed together, so much that it could easily feed all of your goblins for the rest of your adventure. You have plenty of food, so much food that we'd say that all of your adventuring tasks are complete. Well done, Grog. All you must need to do now is find the hidden location and complete the ritual of opening.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat a worm right now as well.
Will you roll for me?
Because I'm hungry.
Choke
Agree.
on the worm.
3? Everyone sees you just unsuccessfully try to like eat a worm, like so much so that they're afraid now that the worms have grown like sentient and are trying to kill you if you try to eat them. -1 on the next roll.
God.
Antonio, what do you do?
Can I go to I want to go to the inn and get a beer.
Yes, you decide, fuck this noise. You decide to go to the inn to grab a beer. You walk your way there. Will you roll for me?
Yes, I will.
With a -1.
I got a 5.
All right. A 5, though, is normally a success, but with a -1, it turns into a 4, which is still something good. Everyone realizes, yes, let's get liquored up before we go on this goblin quest. Brilliant idea. As all of your clutches kind of move with you, and feeling the positive energy of, let's go get smashed. Yeah. +1 on the next dice roll.
I drink the beer?
Sure. Everyone rides this energy as you go inside the inn. Normally, goblins aren't allowed at the inn at all. Like, they are definitely not allowed in. However, everyone is just vibing with this energy as everyone is just confidently walking in. It's like, yeah, let's do this. And then, like the goblins kind of, like, get on top of each other to, like, push Antonio up because he's the lead champion. And a beer slides across the bar, landing in like this giant beer in your small little tiny hand. Will you roll for me?
It comes in bites.
And again, positive energy, so +1.
Ooh, I got a 6.
Ooh, with a 6, actually, it turns into a 7. 2 successes, so much so that as you down this beer, you see at the bottom of the beer is a coaster. A coaster that has the hidden location to the box of bottomless pit. It's in the back room. What? You have succeeded. Well done, Antonio. Well done. Now you must just complete the ritual of opening.
I gotta throw it off right now.
Come on, Antonio. Let's just not stand here.
Yes, Grog. Well done. You decide that action speaks best. What do you do?
I'm gonna snatch the coaster out of his hand.
Great. As you go to pick up the coaster, will you roll for me?
Yeah. Mind you, Grog's supposed to be like a bully-esque kind of trying to be
Yes, will
dominant.
you describe Grog? Yeah, anything you want to do to describe.
Yeah, he's just like a naturally dominant, character.
Probably like a
just
head taller than all the other goblins.
He thinks he can do it better, but usually can't.
You did a good job, but I would have done things a little differently.
And Randy, will you describe Antonio for us?
All right. Have you guys seen Beer Fest?
Yes.
We all went and saw it together.
Yes.
So Antonio he's wearing jorts. He's wearing a crop top shirt, and he's got like a perm.
Brilliant.
And He swings both ways. Oh, here you go. That's Antonio, bro.
Perfect. I love it.
He's
But
a
enough about it.
essentially.
Enough. If you have to ask,
You say he does porn?
Can't afford it. Yeah. Oh, that's wrong.
Grog, you were in the middle of picking up the coaster. Will
Yes.
you roll for me?
I got a 4. I already rolled.
A 4. As you go to pick this up, yes, indeed, it seems like the beer that you drank was called the beer of the bottomless pit. It seems like perhaps it is indeed in the back room, but you're no step closer to actually getting to it because you just picked up a coaster. But everyone is feeling the positive energy, +1 on the next roll.
Sam. Damn it, Grog. So we don't know the ritual.
Maybe if you drink another beer, we'll get the ritual.
A bartender comes over. Yeah, are you guys all just gonna share one beer, or?
Let's get another one.
Or say, wait, can I just get a liter? A liter of beer? A liter of cola?
Everyone looks down at you, like, it's like a record scratch, like, in the bar. Everyone, and there's, like, and again, I cannot stress this enough, goblins are normally not allowed in here. And so everyone was kind of, like, entertaining this, but as you say, can I just get, like, a cola? Everyone turns and looks at you. One giant ogre stands up and just towers, like his head is already hitting like the top of the ceiling. Yard beer, yard beer, yard beer.
Is he saying yard beer?
As suddenly, a yard-long beer is poured by the bartender and goes, "We don't serve cola here, we serve yard beers," and they push it towards Antonio.
I'm gonna whisper and lean in Antonio's ear. It's definitely in that one.
And this is like that moment where I just kind of like looking at the beard, I like peek around the side. You see my head pop out. Yeah. Oh, hey, better down than up, I always say. I try to attempt to drink the beer and not die.
Will you roll for me? And now remember, you are getting a +1 to your dice roll because of the actions of Grog.
Oh man, I got a 3.
A 3 becomes a 4, which, as you start to drink this beer, everyone is like, yes, 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 yes. Like, everyone in the entire, like, tavern are just chanting, because there's no way that a small goblin should be able to hold this much volume of alcohol, as everyone starts to, like, chant, Antonio, Antonio, as you're feeling this positive energy, as probably just because of alcohol poisoning is about to hit your small goblin body soon. But positive energy +1 to the next roll. Grog, you see as Antonio is quite admirably consuming this yard length of beer. What do you do?
Sorry, you were breaking up. You said he's just drinking it, right?
He's drinking it, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
my internet is unstable.
Is he drinking, like, at a slow pace or at, like, a fast pace?
I mean, I guess that's up to Antonio.
Let's just say it's falling all over my body as I'm drinking.
So,
Splashing it.
while he's drinking, I'm gonna look at the big ogre guy, and I'm just gonna be like, he's almost done. Just a minute, like reassuring him that he's gonna finish.
Will you roll for me?
Yes. 1.
Do you want to use your lucky ear?
Yeah.
So wild.
You said no or yes?
No, yes. I'm
So
gonna just,
wild. Let me just
Alright, there's a
off
rip
my
off
rip off
here.
my ear real quick. Call it a day.
And roll one more time.
yes. 6.
Nice.
6 becomes a 7. With that, you say he's just like almost done. And the ogre just starts to walk over towards you. As Antonio finishes the beer, the ogre comes down, picks both of you up, and goes, I like you, and grabs you both and like puts you like underneath his arms as he walks to like the back room. As you enter in, you see that there's already a ritual going on as there's all these people surrounding a giant box as they're lowering a bucket into it. As they pull it back up, it is filled with the delicious beer that Antonio was drinking. And as the ogre comes in and places you down, he says, finally, 2 goblins. As you're placed in front of the box, a sheen starts to shine from the box of bottomless pit as the last part of the ritual was putting 2 goblins in the circle. And as that happens, the bucket starts to shake as people are being like, oh, 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 oh. And like the guy who's like next to it just gets like sucked into the bottomless pit. He's, no! And you just keep hearing him fall in because it's a bottomless pit. He's never gonna like hit the bottom, right? And then, and everyone's, oh, oh! And they start to freak out and leave. And as they leave, the shaking ends. The lid closes on top of the box of bottomless pit. The only people still left in here are Grog and Antonio. As you have completed your first part of your quest and retrieved the box of bottomless pit, well done. And with that, we'll end.
I gotta get used to this.
As you complete your next part of your quest, which is the shiny stone of Grishna. You will still have the goblins you currently have. Any damage you've taken will remain. Any lucky ears you've used are still used. And now, this first one was like the tutorial part. Super easy and simple. Now, as we start to move forward, it's going to require more and more to actually complete this. Will it make sense to maybe bring on a guest and sacrifice them as goblins? We'll see. But right now, I would say Grog and Antonio are doing a pretty swell job.
That was...
Got this shit.
That was
That was no words.
Yeah, that was just blown away. I'm like, wait, hold on, things are happening already. I gotta let that soak in for like next week because that was interesting. It went like definitely not how I thought it was gonna go.
You guys have only lost 1 goblin.
Yeah.
And you know, Antonio does have 1 point of damage, so he's pretty close. The fact that he survived all that is quite admirable.
Oh, both missing ears.
Yeah, you're both just bleeding ears, yeah.
This is fine.
And what's cool is as you're playing this, if you're playing in person, you have a sheet, you can do what Dalton did, is like draw your goblin as you're playing it. So it's kind of cool to be able to be like, okay, this is Antonio, and you would draw him with like curly hair and like you know, jorts and stuff. But then when he dies, you move on to the next one. So
I like I did the last time, I'll just draw it out, and then depending on how it looks is how I'll play the character.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. That's the first part of Goblin Quest. You guys are doing pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's
very stupid.
It reminds me of like Disenchantment with
Yes.
Elfo. Like things,
Yes.
like getting cooked alive.
That's a
Like,
really good
oh
point.
yeah. Oh man, I should name my guy Elfo.
I should have did the laugh on my watch after we found it.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. Can you find like a knockoff SpongeBob laugh, and then when you actually use it, we'll just play it in the episode?
Yeah, I can.
Great. Well, any closing statements? Anything you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I said one on there. Old employees or people you worked with that you didn't like, and what would you say to them today if you saw them?
All of them and fuck off.
Like, the reason why I bring it up because I think about like for the majority of my work experience, like working ever since I got to like my last job at 360, it was like for the most part, like I don't think I would go back there just to tell anybody, "Yo, fuck off, fuck you." I just don't. Like all my previous jobs, there's always like a guy there, or there's a guy that I've had beef with, whether somebody being too overly religious or too much of a cuck to actually manage the fucking store.
A what?
Like
A what?
like a cuck, like
Cuckold.
Like a cunt?
I would know, like a guy that would watch your
Like a
wife get banged or something. Like find another dude and be fine with it. Like, oh, okay, well, that's what she wants. I'll just sit here and take it, like, and not do anything about it. Yeah, specifically when I worked in San Rafael.
So like if she was in porn.
No. Specifically when I worked in Terra Linda, and I worked at AT&T, dude. Like that crew was just so. They thought except for one guy, John. But the guys that worked there were just so. They thought they were hot shit. Like so, and it's weird when you're in a position of. When you're like the new guy or the green guy, you don't really have a leg to stand on. Or you can't like talk back in such a way, or your numbers aren't providing like, I'm like, fuck you. So that's kind of like, I always think about those because I have no idea when I turn the point where I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, well, you start telling customers to fuck off and you can get away with it. Like, I just don't know when that happened, but it just happened all of a sudden. But I definitely wasn't like that when I worked in cell phones and kind of towards the end. But man, when I first got in there in Terra Linda, man, it was just not the best experience at all. So I would tell my old manager, fuck you. Fuck you. And this other guy named Ben, he was just a double fuck you. Like, a double fuck you. I don't want to elaborate more on that, but if you guys had anybody, I'm curious.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some people that I could put on that list where I'm just like, I just have nothing to say to them. It would besides like, yeah, I have nothing to say to you, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because it's like it's crazy how it's always, not always, but there's like these people. It's very similar to what I saw at In-N-Out when, because there's like the different like ranking or like level system, right? So there's like certain people when they get to like a certain position, it has like a place of power within the workplace. And so I get it. It's like, cool, you're working board or you're doing like some of this like grill. And so like that's kind of like trickles down into like, hey, fucking window cashier dude, like fuck off, right? And I'm like, Jesus. But like the thing is, when you're in that space, it's very much like you don't want to like buck the system because that it's inherently like, yeah, this person has a position of power here. But like as soon as work is done, I'm just like, yeah, but that guy's like an asshole. So like nobody would hang out with those people outside of work. Right. So like, and I'm sure in their mind their thought is, well, it's because I'm they still associate work related things to it. But I'm like, no, dude, you're a fucking asshole. So like, yeah, like you go home. If I saw you on the street, kind of thing, or if I saw you afterward, like now if I don't work there, it's like, yeah, all of that illusion of like authority is now gone. And like now I have to just I can look at you as like who you really are, which is like a fucking shitty person.
Yes.
So okay,
Yes.
This makes a lot of sense. So like when I see that, when you say it, it's like, yeah, I'd see that person and be like, huh, yeah, you're a fucking chode, and then like move on, right?
Right.
The one that really, my manager in Terra Linda, he was a fucking cuck. Like he wasn't like an asshole. He said like I remember one. He said like a fucked up racist joke, and like that didn't set well with me or whatever. But like the fact, and he sent me a message on Facebook like years ago, like after I started working there, and he said, "Oh, remember we got the same birthday." I'm like, "Oh, don't remind me." But if I were to see him today, it wouldn't be like "fuck you." It would be like, "You are not a man. You are a weak person, individual." That I don't even know how you got that job in the first place. And it would because fuck you is kind of like, oh, well, you can kind of take it, but it would be more of like, I'm going to attack your personality. I don't attack people's personalities because that's just, you don't do it. But like, that's the kind of person, like, I a handful of people. I'm like, you know what, dude, this is why I don't like you because of this. But yeah, there's like really only
my thing is like, there's a few people, and I can't really elaborate. There's a couple now where I work, but I'd be like, not so much fuck you, but I would just be like, why? Why are you such a cunt?
Yeah.
Like, does your life suck? Is at home suck? Like, what did I do? Like, just
yes,
why? Not so much that like I mean I care because maybe there's something going on or whatever, but not that I care that you're being a cunt. You could be a cunt all day, but my thing is just like, why? Like, why are you the way that you are?
Like, is your bed against the wall? Like, can you only roll off this one side? Like, dude, and it's always the bad
I'm
side?
chilling, I mean, I try to be nice to everybody until you're starting to give me attitude and everything, and then it's gonna change. But
yeah, I
don't know.
Yeah, I definitely came, like, at my last job, I know it's something I'm saying, like, I don't really feel like that, but, like, I definitely came off as, like, an asshole to a lot of individuals, like, new hires. And also, in my eyes, it was more so the fact, like, if you can handle working with me and how I talk to you, very direct, you're going to pretty much succeed in this line of work. Because what everybody else, I can say this 100%, regardless of the situation, I always have my coworkers back. I'll always have my employees back. I'll always have my coworkers back. Doesn't matter if I don't like you or not. Hey, look, dude, you gotta have, no, I'm not gonna let the customer try to do whatever over you. But outside of work, I might let you get punched in the face by a dude. I don't know.
What if they don't deserve it?
Yeah, I don't know why that came up, but the over religious guy, that was an interesting one, and he's, to my knowledge, just successful and all this stuff. Maybe it's more I just hate the guy or just dislike that he's successful and super religious, but yeah, that's the topic I had. If anybody else got another one,
Yeah, that's a good one. Nope. Dalton, you have anything?
I have lots.
yeah, say one, bro. I got like 45
Go
minutes.
through the list. 25 minutes.
I got like 45. I gotta head to Forestville.
I don't know about 45. Which one do I want to ask? That might be too much of a discussion. Okay, how about this? When you get out of the shower, what order do you get dressed? Like, do you put on socks first?
Well, I don't.
No, that's barbaric.
I don't. Like, I just put on shorts.
Underpants, pants, shirt.
I'm commando at my house. And then and I put a tank top on.
What if you're gonna leave? You said you're about to go to Forestville, so you literally take off your pants and put pants on.
Well, I wear
underpants
shorts at my house.
Yeah, but you're going outside of the house.
No, but then the context of why I have to go to Forestville is I'm going to go do baseball practice. So yeah, I'm going to put on some draws. And
I have a question.
Baseball pants.
I'm not against it.
But no, I don't go commando outside of my house though. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. So like your commando. Sorry, I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Dalton, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just. What's the point of going commando?
I think it's higher risk to like get your dick caught on your zipper. That's my personal thing. Like, I don't know why people do that.
So you live risky.
No, I only commando in shorts. I don't go commando with pants, and I'm only commando at my house. Like,
all right. So yeah,
but I take my showers at night.
But
I take my shower at night.
I'm just trying to. I'm just like, I'm not against it. I don't really care what you do, or I want to know why go commando.
It's just more. I sleep naked. I mean, it's just more layers I gotta take off.
What if there's a fire?
I mean,
I think we've gone through this.
I can still grab my shorts, but I mean, I shouldn't. I say 1 out of every 20 times I'm commando out in public just because I'm like, I'm just going to grab a.
So you do go outside?
Yes, if I'm going to Domino's to grab a pizza real quick down the street.
Okay. I wanna make sure I fully understand this.
Yeah.
Right? You're at your house. Comfort of your own home. Understandable. You're a commando in your shorts, right? Cool. Great. No judgment here. But then you're like, okay, I need to go out. And it's the 19 out of the 20 times you're like, all right, I can't just, have the boys have one thin layer of clothing between me and the rest of the world, right? So you'll purposely, actively then decide, all right, I'm going to go now outside. So I need to change by putting underpants on, to then go outside, right? Do your business. You come back. You immediately take off those underpants again and go back into commando mode.
Man. So here's
Putting you on the spot.
No. Here's. I think this is gonna give more context to why. When you're wearing shorts and you're commando, your junk is very much like flopping around, and it's very more noticeable. Like it's just like, okay. When you put on shorts, when you put on, I wear boxer briefs. Boxer briefs. So when you put on that, it kind of just makes it so your junk isn't flopping around all the time. It's very, very rare. So, but when I get back to the house, I would say if I put on shorts to go outside, and the likelihood of me coming back very, very quick, I would say I'd probably just take them off again when I get home. If I know I'm not gonna have to do anything else. If I'm gonna have to go back out, I'll just keep them on. It's kind of like when my day is set and I'm not gonna do anything else. But it's those random times like, oh, dude, I forgot the milk I forgot milk. I gotta go back out real quick and go get milk, or I gotta.
You can't go flippity floppity and get some milk.
Yeah, but then it depends on the color I'm wearing. It's only with black shorts majority of the time, because if you wear gray, it's just way more.
What if it's cold outside?
Oh man. Well, then it's cold outside. Well, here's the thing. Do you guys like driving? Oh, man, we just completely went away from the shower bit, but do you guys like?
It's a simple question.
Is it driving? Do you guys like driving with flip flops or sandals on?
No. Absolutely not.
Depends. My Jeep? No. I can't. It's hard to do the clutch and everything. If I'm driving long distances, no. But if I'm just going to like the store or something, yeah, it's cool.
I used to think it was very weird driving with flip flops or sandals. Was, but
are you a flip flop driver?
no, I'm actually a slide. I wear the slides, but it's very, very rare. Like and then once again, it's like I'm just going down the street to Oliver's. I'm going to grab a pizza really fast. Like I don't need to put on shoes, because when you drive a clutch, there's just more action going on. But have you ever guys driven barefoot and how weird it is?
I don't think I've ever done that.
So when I'm driving to LA, I usually wear flip flops because it's comfortable. Yeah. And I'll take off the flip, or I'll just
Now I got a question.
Off the flip flop.
I got a question for you, Dalton. And I've done this. I've driven barefoot. Like I have my flip flop on. I'll just take it off or whatever. Only with flip flops, not slides. I don't actually step on the gas with my full foot. I just use my big toe. Like it's weird. Like Bert, I'm telling you, it's weird. Like I'm only using my big toe. I'm only using my big toe to feather the gas. But for the brake, I'll use my foot. Like,
what?
Yeah.
Sames.
Gotta try it, dude.
That's why I can't do it with the clutch.
Y'all are very weird.
All right, you got another one that doesn't involve me getting naked?
Oh, I have lots that involve you.
All right, so when you're commando all the time, you have,
How do you cut your sandwiches? Squares or triangles?
Triangle.
Cut your sandwich?
You go diagonal.
Yeah, how do you cut your sandwich? Like if you make a sandwich and you cut it to do two pieces, do you cut it?
Why would you just
square
eat the sandwich?
Why
would you cut your sandwich?
I don't know. Because you want to cut it.
So at my house, it's weird. At my house, I'll cut the sando, but when I'm at work,
naked or not naked?
Yeah. How many times have you cut sandwiches in the nude?
I can't recall ever.
So what you're saying is
Transfixed
so
on this.
much.
So when you were playing No Man's Sky, would you say that how many layers of clothing did you have on?
Tank top and shorts, and the possibility of my robe. Robes come into play, like big.
Have you ever? Never mind.
Yes, I have. Yeah. There's been time I've walked out just in boxers in my robe to go to A&L. It's happened one time. But I'm like, well, no one's gonna, like, if somebody fucking, like, take this off, brother, it's gonna be really cold real quick. See, robes are good, though. I like robes.
Let's go back to this cutting the sandwich question. I don't understand. Why would we be cutting our
So
sandwiches?
you never cut your sandwiches?
Not as an adult, no.
No. Do you
I
ever
just
cut
eat
your
the sandwich.
burger? Like you're at a
No.
restaurant or
I just
something,
eat
do
the
you ever
burger.
cut your burger?
Oh,
What if it's like
I
huge,
have
like
I have
layered
done that.
shit?
I have done that. Yeah, I have done that. You're right.
I just want to elaborate on the cutting of the sandwich to how we eat the sando. Now, there is obviously there's multiple types of sandwich bread, but I'm just getting the thin ones. So there's like the thin one that's like this big, and then you get the longer one, okay? The longer piece of bread, that's what I get. I get the longer, wider piece. I eat the sandwich, I don't eat it like this. It's weird. I'm not eating it like on the top. I just kind of flip it to the side. I start from like the side of the bread, like the sandwich, and just eat it down. Is that weird?
No, I do the same.
Okay, all right. So instead of me eating the sandwich like this, I just turn it like this, and I just kind of like that's how I eat them at work. This is one hand while watching YouTube or whatever. I don't eat it like from the front. But if I had the smaller piece of sandwich, like smaller bread, I think I would eat it from the front.
Next time you have a sandwich, you'll have to do a video and show us.
God.
I think Bert's confused, or he's just not in agreement
Bert's just
of our
like-
sandwich eating
You guys
situations.
You guys are making me upset.
I don't understand some of these questions.
All right. One more question. What are you guys eating for lunch?
I had In-N-Out the past like 2 weeks in a row. I'm so tempted to get it again.
I was about to say, so you're not eating it? How are you eating it?
No, eating. It's so good.
It
It's
sounds
Sunday,
good.
so I gotta. I mean, normally I don't eat out or get food on, except for
You
Sunday.
should always eat out.
But man, dude, fucking cheesesteak was really good.
What was it?
The cheesesteak shop was really good the other night. I haven't
Oh.
had that in like a year, and it was just like, oh my god.
Last night I made a homemade Costco chicken.
Wait, is it homemade?
No, yeah, I took some pizza dough and I rolled it out. Put the chicken in there and some bacon and mozzarella and
Okay.
put some ranch dressing and rolled it.
Well, they use ranch, but don't they use Caesar?
I used ranch. I also put broccoli in it too.
You savage.
It was yummy.
hungry now.
Except I fucked up on the first one. Actually, the first two. Supposed to put mozzarella cheese in there and I actually put Parmesan cheese. But then I added more mozzarella cheese.
Yeah.
And then I added bacon bits to them. But the first two I forgot to add the bacon bits. So only two of them had bacon bits.
What you
But it was
guys
yummy.
like?
I'm legitimately gonna go make.
Do you guys use DoorDash and stuff like that now?
I do, but I'm reluctantly using it because I'm just the prices on it are insane.
Like I don't.
So we went to get-
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We went to do Panda the other day and it was like $11.50 for a 1-plate meal. And I went on Panda website and you can order from there
Yeah.
and it was $8.50. I'm like, I'm not paying $11.50 for a 1-plate meal plus delivery charges.
I think people don't understand that DoorDash charges more money. Like it's just it's
so much more.
But also, like, I'm there to support the local place because I think my views on it are way different now because I'm not drinking. So it's like if I told the lady if she orders food, she's like, "All right, go get it." I'm like, there's no argument for me. Whereas I just DoorDash it because I'm sober. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to just drive over there and get it. it might cost me some inconvenience. But at the end of the day, I told myself, I'm like, you know, dude, if I'm sober, I might as well just use these new superpowers and just go get the food and save like $10.
A lot of places you can order online as delivery. It's their normal prices, and they still use like DoorDash or something.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a different way because they take such a high percentage.
Yeah,
it's like the Amazon of food. They take 15%.
It was like KFC when we recorded the other day. We got KFC, and I was gonna order, but everything was way more expensive, and I'm like, "Fuck this! We'll just go when we're done."
Yeah, KFC. Are you original, crispy, or grilled?
Original.
Original's so good. Maybe I'll get
So
KFC
good.
today.
It wasn't that good though. It was dry.
Okay, maybe I won't get KFC.
But it was like 9:30.
I mean, things change. What are you gonna have for lunch?
So, and also, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
I did something embarrassing. So we go there.
Was it not figuring out how to? Or was it not being able to get past the opening?
I was gonna say
No, I nailed that.
That's pretty. It's pretty embarrassing.
I nailed that pretty well. So yes, right.
Sorry.
You know,
continue.
what I was gonna say, just part of No Man. Like, am I gonna get into No Man's Sky and then Dalton's gonna bail on it like he did World War Z?
It's exactly what I'm
Like,
trying to get you to do.
That's
I
like
want you to
that
get
was
into the
another
game
fear
and
I
hooked,
have with Dalton's game
and then
suggestions.
I'm gonna stop playing it.
Dude, because I played that hardcore for like months, and you like just never played.
Dude, I played No Man's Sky for like 5 hours yesterday.
No.
What's this embarrassing thing?
Okay, so we went to
Sorry.
KFC, right? Eight piece bucket. It's $30.
What?
31.
What?
$31 and some
How many
change.
sizes does it come with?
You get 2 large sides. Was it like 4 biscuits?
God, I love
4
their
6
coleslaw,
biscuits, and you get 8 pieces of chicken, right? My dumbass was like, you know what? We always have extra chicken, and we always have an extra side, so I'll just order a la carte chicken and 1 side and 4 biscuits. Can you guess how much it was?
Man, the fact that shit used to be like $20 last year, like I'm blown away. $40.
It was. Bert, do you want to guess?
I was gonna say 36.
It was $28 for the 6 pieces of chicken, 4 biscuits, and 1 large side, and gravy, because you gotta have gravy. Yeah, so $2 more. I could have had 8 pieces of chicken, another large side.
Didn't we just talk about this?
We might have.
We just talked about how you shouldn't order the value meal. The Carl's Jr. store.
Well, he's doing it different.
We just talked
Dude
about
was
this.
even. I was all, how much is the a la carte pieces? He's like, they're a little expensive, and they told me, and I'm like, nah, I'm still gonna do it. And then I literally could have went to the window and be like, hey, can I make just an 8-piece bucket, throw 2 more pieces of chicken and another side?
Oh man. Were you? Well, I guess the question is, were you hungry after, or you're just like, bro, like I take that quantity.
Honestly, I thought it was. Yeah, I could have got more for $2, but I thought it was perfect because if I had 8 pieces of chicken, I probably would have overate.
All right. That's a good one because there are times where it's like, man, I could get something for a few dollars more, but do I actually need it? Am I actually going to consume it? Am I going to find joy out of this? And a lot of times I overeat that way, so I get that. But man, it's tough. Fucking chicken, dude. I didn't know buckets got that expensive.
And it's expensive,
And
dude.
what size do you get?
Mac and cheese, that's it.
Wait, you get just 2 things of mac and cheese?
Yep.
Oh, man. See, I always get coleslaw and mac and cheese.
And coleslaw's okay.
It's just a little toner downer for me.
Yeah.
Like
I
But
saw a TikTok that was. I didn't watch the whole thing. I scrolled through it, but someone was like, eating out, or they're like, when did eating out become more expensive than groceries? But I don't think that's accurate anymore.
I guess it depends
Or
on
no. When did groceries become more expensive than eating out? Yeah, that's what he said. But I don't think that's accurate.
No, that's not accurate.
Because
it's my first
breakfast for Sarah and I in the mornings, it's like $24,
God,
and we get 2 sandwiches. $22. We get 2 sandwiches,
so much.
2 hash browns / tater tots, and 2 drinks.
I was thinking about your order the other day, Dalton, because I'm like, man, how's he getting to that price with those items? It's got to be the OJ.
Probably.
If you're getting OJ in the breakfast, man, that's got. I haven't bought OJ in a while. OJ can't be that cheap.
I don't know.
Because I'm like, dude, how's he getting to this price? But I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be the drinks, because I never get drinks at fast food places unless it's with a meal.
Yeah.
Counter, if you do go to Carl's Jr. and you want French fries and a soda, and you're trying to budget, even though you're eating out, which doesn't, it's an oxymoron. Get their $5 deal. Pay the extra $2 to like make it a large, and then just get whatever fucking burgers with your coupons. You're fine.
Oh, man.
Versus getting like the fucking $13 superstar meal and then adding to it. We're like, well, let me pay $7 for this burger, tenders, a fry, and a drink, and a cookie, and then let me get like my double famous star. Like, there's ways you gotta manipulate the system. Like,
So expensive.
Yeah. Well, I'm super hungry now, so I'm gonna say, I'm gonna
get?
I'm gonna make some El Pastor.
Really?
Pastor?
Yeah.
Like a taco?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably make nachos.
What kind of chips do you have?
Like restaurant style
What kind
tortilla
of cheese
chips.
are you gonna use?
Cool Ranch Doritos.
That would be dangerous.
Yeah. I think I probably.
Are you gonna use Jack or I mean?
No, I have like Mexican blend.
That Costco nacho cheese though. Sometimes if I made my own nachos, I go to the Mexican place and I'm like, can I just get like some chips and nachos on the side and just go decorate it myself? But that's just risky because then I might as well just order Mexican food.
Risky.
But anyway, I gotta eat breakfast before this practice, so
Yeah. This is a long one. This is good.
Okay.
Till next time, everybody.
Enjoy the
Enjoy the
mess.
mess.
Shit.